Her name is Ellen.
I love the 40-year-old mom name.
Are you moving? When are you moving to your room? Your setup.
So I was trying to get it done today, but I ran out of time. So it'll probably be during the week next week. I'm gonna get it in there, and I'll have my own quiet gaming area / work office. So that'll be nice.
That, but it won't be quiet for you.
That's true.
Never quiet for you.
That's awesome.
When is it always quiet?
All right, this guy over here.
I was just gonna say, instead of letting them all have a 14-year-old girl sleepover, you should just have them all in the background watching you game, being your fan section.
Yeah.
They're all very mean, and they would probably get me banned for what they say.
They're just back there grilling you.
All right, so what do we want to talk about first? How about the fact that Tua Tagovailoa just got $212 million?
Say his name again?
Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know what his name is. Hawaiian. Insert Hawaiian name here. Yeah. Tua got a lot of concussions. That's who it is. And the thing about the contract that blows my mind, 167, I think, guaranteed. $167 million guaranteed. And if somebody breathes on him, he's gonna die. 4 years.
Hey, that's not true. He's been doing judo to learn how to fall.
Yeah, and he was fat Tua last year. Now he's half a Tua. He lost a lot of weight this year. So now he's going to be brittle again. Yeah, he's going to be brittle again. He's going to get broken in half.
I will break you.
What did they do? They realigned all the college conferences this year, right?
I wouldn't know.
The only big thing that I know of is that OU and Texas finally, this is their year. They're going to the SEC where they're going to get their buttholes smashed.
Yeah, but
I don't think there's been.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't think there's been a lot of. I don't think there's like a NCAA total realignment, but there's been a lot of teams, like Spartan was saying, changing, and then also like some conference differences, right? So like ACC last year implemented the there's no longer like coastal and Atlantic division. It's just like one now. And then there's also, this is the first year, the 12 team playoff.
Let's see.
But the Big Ten is like, the Big Ten's like 18 teams this year, right? It's no longer the Big Ten. It's called the Big Ten, but there's like 18 teams, right?
Yeah, there's 18. So the ACC added 2 teams, SMU and Stanford.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The Big Ten added Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington. The Big 12 is losing Oklahoma and Texas, but gained Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah.
And then they expanded playoff to 8 teams now, right? All conference champs get a bye, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so I heard it's 8. So we will have college football up till the Super Bowl almost. I think college football goes up through January now, like almost to February.
So the Pac-12 is now the Pac-2 because it's just Oregon State and Washington State.
Pretty good way to win your division if there's only 2 of you.
Yeah. SEC added Oklahoma and Texas for 16 teams. AAC lost SMU but added Army. Conference USA, I didn't know that was a thing.
America. Yeah. It's just America. America.
Under, is that a bonsai garden?
No, it's a what is this called? My little sand and rocks right here. A Zen garden? Yeah, it's a little Zen garden.
A Zen patch.
Yeah. It's a little... I'm surprised it's still here and I haven't thrown it against the wall. It's not helping. I got a little rake for it. A little rakey.
That'd be good for your beard.
Why what?
It just walks in and breaking his beard.
I love you a long time. That was the other thing I noticed from the other podcast. My beard was glorious. I missed it. I feel so naked now. I had such a good beard. Now, don't get me wrong. It was still white trash. It had a lot of white trash in there, but it wasn't bad.
You're telling me you're so ingrained with white
I
trash
can't-
DNA?
It doesn't grow there. I can't even do a Hitler if I wanted to. It doesn't grow there. There's no hair there.
That's crazy. I could do a Hitler any day.
Yeah, I can't. There's nothing there. Now you can't tell. It looks like I have a full mustache. No.
I know you can't, Slabo, because
Yes,
you
I
have
can.
rules and regulations.
I still can do it.
Actually, that
weekend.
one's within regulations.
All right, what else? What else? What do we want to talk about?
Who do you think's going to the Super Bowl this year?
Oh,
Cowboys.
that's a good one. Now, well, go ahead. You say, everybody go around and say your two teams. Cowboys and who?
Fuck, that's tough actually. Just Cowboys.
All right, Cowboys are going to play against each other.
Yep.
What do you think,
Cowboys
Pickles?
v. Cowboys.
Dude, I have no idea. If I'm being honest, I don't follow NFL the way I follow college, so I'm a little out of my depth here. As much as I want to say the Falcons, I think we're gonna absolutely suck big old butt. San Fran looks good again. I don't know, man. That's about all I can give you.
They'll take
Not the
San Fran.
Dolphins.
Yeah, for real. Not the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're going to be booty.
Shit,
Easy.
probably
Only got
none of our
easy.
teams.
Easy, guys. Easy. We'll get into the playoffs and get knocked out first round. Shut up.
Shoot,
My-
Cowboys
my-
too.
Who? Spartan?
My team's going to make it.
Who?
The Chiefs.
Fuck no.
Man,
Get
what a
out
bandwagon.
Here. Yeah.
What a bandwagon fan. Where's that wagon that you have back there?
No, it's not
Jesus.
necessarily a bandwagon of them being the past two winners. It's more of a they're the closest team to anywhere I go because I literally go to Kansas City once a month.
I think it's going to be San Fran and Baltimore this year. I think Lamar Jackson takes Baltimore all the way, and I think
Great.
I think San Fran gets there almost uncontested. And I think Baltimore somehow finds a way to beat KC. Now I think it depends if Baltimore can play at home. I think playing in Arrowhead like the Dolphins playing at Arrowhead last year in the playoffs, and it was -6 and everybody got frostbite. Like that's a rough fucking game to play in, dude. Like 6 or 8 players from both teams got frostbite in that fucking playoff game. Like Arrowhead's a rough place to play. So I think if Ravens can get Ravens all the way. I think if Ravens can get home field over KC, which I think they can, I think KC takes a step back. I think it's Ravens and San Fran, just like was that a few years ago when both Harbaughs were coaching the teams. I think there'll be a lot of
What do
shocker
we think
teams.
about Harbaugh going to the Chargers?
I think it's a great team
How
for
do you
him to
think
go
he's gonna do
to.
first year?
I think they'll get in the playoffs this year. I think they missed them last year. I think they'll get in the playoffs this
agree.
year. I think they're wide receivers away because they lost Keenan
He's
Allen
a wild
and
or
who's in their division? They got the Raiders, right? Which are shit.
Yeah.
Go to bed. They'll have who's in
Hybrid
the
set.
Broncos? Broncos are in that division too. I don't know. I think they'll be a wild card. I think the AFC is really stacked. The NFC is where there's not a lot of good teams, in my opinion. I think the AFC is really stacked because if you look at like the AFC North has the Bengals and the Ravens, which I both think if Joe Burrow's healthy, I think both of them can make the playoffs. And you got the AFC.
They have KC.
Yeah, you have Kansas City and
They're AFC West, so it's KC, Raiders, Broncos,
and Chargers. So I think for the Chargers to get in, they'll have to get a
Kansas
wild
City,
card.
Raiders, Broncos, Chargers.
All right. So they'll have to have a wild card. And then you
Yeah.
got the East, which is the Bills and Dolphins, I think both will make the playoffs. So then you've got what is it AFC West? That's Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars, the Colts. Who the fuck's the other team? Texans, Colts, Jags. I think Texans take that one this year. I think the Texans are going to be good. I think CJ Stroud's the real deal. I think he takes them in deep into the playoffs this year. I think they beat Miami actually in either a wild card game or like second round game of the playoffs. So I think the NFC besides San Fran, I really don't have confidence. Besides maybe Cowboys, I don't think the Eagles do much this year. I think the Eagles take a step back. So it'll probably be Cowboys and Niners for the championship, NFC championship. And I think the Niners take that. So I think Harbaugh will have success, but I still think they need receivers. I don't know how they drafted this year, but they lost Keenan Allen and they lost I think Mo Williams, so they lost their 1 and 2 wide receivers. So I think they take a huge step back. It'll be interesting though. Who's doing the halftime show? They announced that yet
Not that I've
Halftime.
seen.
What?
for the Super Bowl?
I usually don't announce that. I think it's on the season. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. The fucking commercials suck for the last couple Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, they've been pretty weak.
I know.
All
I'm
right,
a little.
here, I got a question.
Okay.
What is everybody's all-time
All-time
favorite Super Bowl commercial?
Doritos. I think way back.
Favorite
in like,
Super Bowl commercial? Can you not hear me?
Yeah, we hear
I
you.
heard you.
Doritos?
Doritos has so many. They have so many legendary ones. You got
Yeah.
you got to give me a specific one. Like they got the one with like the guy in the suit of like. Wait, where'd you get those Doritos? Oh, out of Greg's locker. And then he's like, Greg loves his Doritos. And then it shows Greg in like a suit of Doritos armor,
Pretty
and he
much
has like
all
a
of the
flail.
Doritos
He's,
ones.
like, coming at the guy. That one's so
Terrible
good.
one. Or the time
That
machine
one's
one where the
good,
little
yeah.
girl stole his Doritos.
Time machine one.
The which one?
The time machine one where the little girl tricked her dad or whatever to get in
Oh
the
yeah.
time machine box and stole his Doritos.
I have to go with the old school Budweiser frogs. It
That's
was
a good one.
the butt wiper. It was like butt wiper or whatever. It was the old frogs. What do you want? I think that's one of my favorite. But they've sucked the last few years. Like they always used to be really good. They always
They
used to
started sucking
be.
after COVID, pretty much.
Yeah, they cost so much money. Like they started running up. You see the Super Bowl commercials like
So
in the
much
playoffs now.
I saw something.
You saw what?
I saw something that said this is a number of years ago where it was the amount of money. The most expensive slot was the first commercial of the first break after the start of the game. And this is a couple of years ago, but it was like $50 million just for that slot. So it always went to like, a big station that would just, do some like reality bullshit TV like ad or something. But it's crazy. Just to get the slot is wild.
So I ran into that a little bit when I worked at Interstate for all those years
I would
ago.
say I think for me, my I was just dude, we need to get like they do on podcasts where like the headphones that play your voice so that you can like hear when other people are talking so you don't talk on top of each other. It's tough over a Discord call.
It is,
But I was gonna say I think my two favorite are the Bud Light ones. The Bud Light ones
the
where
Light Night.
one of the first one is like teaching foreigners. No, not the night ones, but these were a couple years ago, and I think they were the same year. But one of them was teaching foreigners how to speak English, and it was basically like the two things they taught them were like, "Do you have Bud Light?" And then it's like if you're asking for a Bud Light, and then it's like, "What if somebody asks you for a Bud Light?" And they go, "Me no speak Inglés." That's so good. And then the other was like about the guy trying to skydive. The guy trying to skydive where he's like in the plane and everybody else is gone. He's like, all right, Tim, like you're up, man. Like, let's go. And he's like, what about for a Bud Light? And he throws a Bud Light on. He's like, I'm still not going, man. I'm not doing it. And then he gets a case of Bud Light and he throws it out. And the guy's like, I can't go. I can't go. And then you just see the pilot run and jump out the airplane with no parachute on. That one's so good.
I remember that one.
Uh-oh. That one's a classic.
I'm gonna do half, and Kiki's gonna do the other half. So speaking about you were talking about the podcast earphones and stuff. There's a company. It's like 2 miles up the street from me that has pretty genius idea. I think not for my town, not for our community. They have a podcast studio where you can come in, rent the podcast studio out, and they'll produce it for you. And they'll stream it on whenever you want to stream it. You can use all their equipment. They got video guys and sound guys. I just sent them an email a couple days ago and reached out to them to see what they would charge for a time slot. If this kind of takes off and this is something we want to do, it's something I'm looking forward to. So obviously, locally, we'll have. Oh, is that a knife or a gun in his back pocket? I didn't see it. That's a cutter. That's a knife. Obviously, locally, I'll try to have people like Speedy and Charlie and Lowe's and local guys who are on the streaming team in there. But I would still like to do something like this where you guys could satellite in and they would take care of all of the video stream and the sound, and they'll take care of all that. So I'm waiting to hear back from them on what the cost is. Obviously, I think we need to do quite a few of these first, see if it's going to be cost effective, see if we get enough viewers and ownership. One of the things I'd like to talk to maybe Slavo, your guy, is if he's going to start doing some of the media stuff for us, he could comb through our podcast and maybe pick out highlights or funny topics or just the little zingers you see that all the podcasts make like a clip video of. And maybe we can start promoting it on our social media and stuff. And if it really catches off, I don't mind paying for an hour slot. If it costs us, $100 for an hour slot, we pay for it as long as we're going to make our money back, which I think that's a long way down the road, but something that I'm planning on just in case.
We also need to look into other streaming for like just audio, like Spotify, Apple Music, if we want to actually do the podcast.
Yeah, so the good thing about that place is they produce it and everything, and they put it on all that shit for you. But there's a app that I believe does the same thing for small people, where they'll upload it for you to all those things. I don't think it costs money to upload it to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that shit. You just don't get the marketing and stuff. Like, obviously, we're not going to be top of the pages. People would have to go there and literally type in our name to look for it.
Right, it won't pop up as a
Go to bed
or anything like that.
Right. Go to bed. Good boy. He's so old. Come here, Romeo. Come here, Romeo. Come here. You want to see old Romeo? This is a Basset Hound in lab. It's a Basset Hound in lab, and he has seal paws. See his seal paws? Or.
No.
Say hello, Romeo. Say hello. Yeah, get out of here.
Good boy.
He's old. He's only about 6 inches off the ground, but he weighs like 85 pounds. And here's Juliet. Juliet is riddled with cancer tumors.
Tumors?
Yeah, see, she's got a big one right here. She's on her way out, but she's a big old boxer mix, huh?
Oh,
you're a big old boxer. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, you're a good
My
girl.
dog's still cuter.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, mine are
still cuter.
Mine are ugly, old, and dying. Go to bed. Go on.
Mine are old.
Go to bed.
It's not a competition. They're all the cutest. Every dog is the cutest. They all are number one.
I don't know if you guys will watch.
Fuck cats.
I hate cats. Cats can go to hell.
Yeah, for real.
So the thing about these two, she will not lay down anywhere separate than right on top of him. She always lays on him. He never gets peace. She always is on top of him. So I don't know. It was probably 6-7 years ago. We came to Florida for Speedy's wedding, and we boarded them. And I said, "Hey, just so you know, you want to put they had like their own room or whatever." I said, "You need to put them in the same room, or she's gonna raise hell." First night we were gone, we get a call from her. She was like, "You're a beagle. She won't stop howling. She was howling all night. We don't know what to do with her." I said, "Well, are they in the room together?" She goes, "No." I said, "Well, put them in the room together. She'll never howl again." She literally screamed and howled and barked until they put them in the same room together.
That's funny.
And they're very codependent. All right, what else? What else do we want to talk about here?
You know, if we were smart, we would have made a list.
Yeah, honestly. Well, we can talk about that.
It was kind of impromptu, last minute, kind of throw it together.
I'll show you my little fur missile.
That I have to share. I don't think you can show that on TikTok. Or on Twitch. I don't think you can show that on Twitch. I don't know. Oh. Dude, he's got dreads.
Don't get me banned. Oh my gosh,
he's got dreads, bro. You need to shave. You need to shave that thing.
Yo, yeah, you need to give him a bear haircut or something.
He looks like Toby. He needs a good trimming.
Her name is Ellen. Nickname is Wiggles.
her name.
Because she just sits here and hi Wiggles. Hi
Ellen.
Wiggles.
Ellen.
Yeah.
I love the 40-year-old mom name. Got a topic of conversation. Best video game of all time, and you can only pick one. I'm asking y'all.
I'll go last.
I want to see where you guys go with it. You'll go
Black
last.
Ops 3
Okay.
Zombies.
Cop out.
Okay. Now.
Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Oh wow. Okay, I like how you specified not all of Black Ops 3. You go
Yeah.
specifically zombies because Black Ops 3 would have been a hot take, but the fact that you specified zombies, I think is kind of saving it. All right. It's a good. That's a solid choice.
Spartan.
Yeah. Well,
You want to come back to you?
Well, there's a bunch. I mean, but if we're talking like old games, then I really love GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. But then, if we're talking more cinematic games, then I really love the God of War series because they're just like movie story video games. But games that I just enjoy playing the most would be Elden Ring.
Ooh, Elden Ring. Okay. So mine hands down.
What the reason it prompted me to ask it is because of that.
Because of Elden Ring.
Go ahead, Under.
Mine hands down is Gears of War.
Yeah, dude. People have just been talking about. They're
Man.
like, "Is Elden Ring the best?"
I have.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, but I'm still so torn.
I have never felt a competitive nature like I did with Gears. I've never gotten chills from like the first Gears promo where they're showing like Marcus running through killing the stuff and they're playing Mad World. Like watch that trailer again. Just watch that trailer. I get goosebumps every time that trailer comes on when they're playing Mad World. The storyline in that was so crazy. The active reload that I think was really underrated, like that thing that they put into the game where hitting an active reload, like big banger bust, like really taking the risk to get an active reload. The commentary,
Dude, sick guns.
the
Their guns were
commentary.
so sick. Like hammer burst, chainsaw. What was the one the hammer of God or whatever that would literally open the satellite in the sky? That gun.
The Hammer of Dawn, dude, the laser that you had to fucking pin off of something. Hammer of Dawn.
Yeah.
The all around cinematics of that game, number one, I think were way above its time. The commentary of like when he missed a reload and fucking he would cuss. Oh, when he hit a reload, he would be like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, insane. The game was insane.
I don't know. I think Halo beats Gears of War for me.
Which one though? Are you going Gears 1?
Yeah, original. Gears original.
That's fair.
The Halo series beats
Gears
that for me.
original? Okay. Like
So-
dude, my first foray into shooters, Halo's so good though, too, man. Like but for me, my foray into shooters was Gears 2. Gears 1 was a little before me, but yeah, dude, Gears is so good. For my answers, I'll change it up from like a shooter, Elden Ring, because you guys are naming a lot of my favorite ones too. And this might be a total hot take because I know none of y'all play it. Is old school RuneScape? It's like a classic.
I knew you were gonna say that too. I forgot you used to play that all the time.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I'd see you play.
I still
like
play it, dude. I
months.
literally think that's a game that I will play. Yeah. I'll play. I think I'm literally gonna play that until I'm like dead.
I think Rocket League for me is what I'd play constantly on a consistent basis.
But that game holds a special place in my heart because it's the first game I've ever played competitively. It's the first game I played, and probably the last game I played, where I was confident that no matter who the fuck I played that was across from me, I was winning my gun battle. Me and Ty Call, which Pickles had just played some Valorant with, were so fucking cracked at that game. When we were played ranked in that game, we would literally go out one at a time. Out of our spawn, we would go out one at a time and go 1v4. And then when you died, the next person went out. When you died, we were so good at the game. We beat Nick Merckx and his team at that game. We beat Optic Gaming and his team at that game. We beat Cracked Gaming. We were the top team in game battles for 2 years in a row playing that game back in the day. It was the only game I could say, hands down, if you loaded it up. Like if I went to somebody's house and I was drinking and they loaded it up and wanted to play, I knew exactly I was winning money because I could fucking beat them in it.
Why
What
why don't
happened?
you have any of this money now? Should have gone
Huh?
pro.
Yeah.
Why
Because
didn't you
that-
go pro?
So that wasn't a thing back then. Like it was game battles back then. It wasn't MLG. There wasn't. No. Look at Nick Merckx. There wasn't pro Gears teams back then. It wasn't a thing.
Dude.
Gears didn't get pro until like Gears 2, Gears 3. That's when pros started taking off.
Yeah.
Back then you had to have capture cards and shit like that to upload your videos and shit. When it was original Gears, when it was game battles before MLG bought it out, we were on Smokers Inc. I don't know if you could look it up and find out. That's when we were 2 or 3 seasons in a row. We were the top team in game battles in the ladders and tournaments. But after that, I didn't play a lot of games after that. I probably took a hiatus for 5-6 years. I didn't play anything for a long time.
Could have been Nick Merckx if you'd stuck with it.
Except for sexier and obviously a better body.
Yeah,
Duh.
crazy.
Obviously.
It's kind of cringe.
Fuck you.
Cringe.
But you were talking about the Hammer of Dawn, the laser. So
Mhm.
Ty back in the day would not play tournaments late because of his job. He did he was like a dialysis tech where he did work on like the dialysis machine, so he wouldn't stay up late because he had to work early, had an important job. Yeah, so we would wake him up. There's one map that if it was in rotation, it was called Rooftops. There was one map that if it was in rotation, it was called Rooftops, and it's a map where Hammer of Dawn was on the ground. Everyone on the team would call Ty and blow his phone up to wake him up to play because he was a god with that weapon. He could hit, like, he knew where there were spots on the map where he could get that laser to lock in and kill the team. Because Rooftops was like a single round in game battles on Rooftops could take 4 hours to play a single round of a tournament because it was a stalemate map. Mm-hmm. It was a stalemate map where both sides had equal power weapons, and then there was a big like choke point in the middle, but nobody would push the middle because of that hammer. Ty was so good at being able to pinpoint that hammer that he could get a kill or two like right off the bat or a couple minutes in, and we could bomb rush a team. So we would blow them up. We would never fail. We'd play like 1 or 2 maps, and then would never fail. Like the last map we would play, or a tiebreaker map, would be fucking Rooftops, and we'd have to fucking blow him up for like the 10 minutes you get to sub in a player to get him to get on to fucking play that map to carry us to a victory.
What I'm hearing
I don't think
is
I've ever seen Under talk anything this passionate.
That was my favorite game, hands down.
So I said it sounds like Ty was the one who was good at Gears of War.
Yeah.
So me and him actually
Boom
won.
roasted.
So
Boom roasted.
we can put this out there now since it's years ago, but
Boom roasted.
everybody knew that whoever hosted a match in Gears got an advantage, right? Whoever was host got an advantage.
Yeah.
You didn't have a delay.
Yeah.
So we had 2 out of the 4 people we'd have on a team would be in the same house, and we would have that guy host. So basically, we'd have 2 hosts on the team.
Well, dude, yeah, that was back then. It was whoever the person, because they didn't have dedicated servers, so they had to host it on somebody's fucking local Xbox or local Wi-Fi, and that's why you had people making lag switches. It was crazy. I literally remember because I played a ton of Gears, and like, dude, I remember the fucking lag switches were crazy.
So what we would do is we had 2 people that when we hosted, they would be in the same house together. It was 2 buddies. So we had double host. Okay. What sucked was he had like fucking satellite fucking internet.
Oh god.
So his connection was shit. And if his phone rang, he was no longer on the internet.
Yeah.
Me and Ty were playing with those 2, and we were playing off host. And it was Escalation was the map. It's all stairs. Like the one team spawns up top, one team spawns on bottom, and it's just a big uphill push or downhill push. Well, they lagged out. 2 of them, both of them, boom, lagged out. Me and Ty won 2 rounds against playing them with just me and him against 4. And because at the bottom of the map, you spawn with snipers. So we both just took snipers and hid in the back, and we just fucking killed them. We were the best 2 on our team. But it got us in a lot of trouble because anytime they would fucking double host, if one lagged out, there was a protocol where it would cost you a round. So if you lagged out and you had to reload, if you were the hosting team, you would have to cost yourself a round. If you were the away team, it didn't matter. You lagged out, you're just going to lose the fucking round anyway. But if you hosted and lost the round, or if you hosted and they lagged out and the lobby closed, you had to go in, open up a new round, and go in and die to them. So it cost us a lot of games right off the bat. But game I wish we got into for the pro circuit, I would think right now would either be Valorant, which I really would like to get a pro team together for Valorant. I'd like to concentrate back on AGLS for Apex. I wish we could get a team together for Overwatch, but I'm not that interested in Overwatch.
Nah, fuck that game. That game's so trash.
I don't think
It's
the game
too
is
much.
trash. I think the game is way too much to get a team together to pick your roles and get support, DPS, tank. Like, I think it would be very hard to get enough people aligned on the same page to play it competitively. That's what I think.
Well, I think you would have to, if we were going to do Overwatch, you would have to do, I mean, similar to Valorant, you'd have to find somebody that was like, we at least have some natural interest in Valorant within the community already, but like we would have to find somebody that already knows and has spent a lot of time in Overwatch that could kind of lead the effort, as opposed to like, oh, let's get into Overwatch, and then it's, you know, us trying to go and figure it out.
I mean, I know Overwatch
Dude.
a little bit. Played a lot of it, but it's not something I want to lead.
Kiki said she would definitely be our tank. And then I told her to come over and join the podcast, and she said she doesn't want her fat, stupid face in the podcast.
Hey,
Yeah, well, she needs to
you
either
want me to be the
join
fattest
or
or
stop
stupidest
distracting.
face?
Yeah, right. That's true.
Damn.
Slavo's face isn't that fat, so I'm assuming you're talking about this one.
Yeah.
He said you wouldn't be the fattest face in the podcast. My God, you gained 20 pounds. Holy shit. Call Guinness.
Well, that's because you pooped out a baby.
You pooped out the baby? Is that how it happened? And you lost 50 and you gained 20? Oh, God.
Just talking to his wife, and we're sitting here watching it. That's what's happening right now.
That's literally the podcast.
Dude, tell her to join as opposed to these like conversations from another room over.
They said either don't talk or join the podcast. That's your role.
Yeah, that basically
Just saying.
we did. Yeah, basically.
You're going to
Tell
suck
her-
what?
What, dude?
What? Hey, yo.
Relax.
Well, she was
Okay.
telling you guys. She was telling you guys. She was telling you guys to suck a dick and shut up. So I was reversing it against her.
Figure it out, bro.
Yeah, I did. Hey, give your balls a tug and figure it out.
Why don't you
Yeah.
just talk in your damn microphone so we can hear?
Yeah,
Because
she doesn't
you'll
have to
hear-
be.
You'll hear everything else, and I'm not okay with that.
Then give her a headset.
That's
Yeah,
what
she
you
could
need.
just be. She could be a remote call-in participant.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, so goal moving forward for Talentless Gaming. What I would like to see, us get back dedicated to Apex for Challenger circuit going forward. If Slabo and Spartan, if either one of you guys or both of you aren't interested in playing, I would like one or both of you to look at either being a coach or some sort of support role, whatever they offer, to help us out, because the coach can watch the streams and watch and talk to us in the Discord, tell us what we might not have seen, what we might have did wrong, like an outside perspective of what happens. Because if me, Pickles, and Slavo are playing and we went through things, obviously whatever I think I saw, I'm going to think is what happened. Whatever he thinks he saw, if we have somebody who's subjective that can look in and see it and say, hey, that round you guys actually pushed left and you should have went right, or Pickles was right and you guys should have took the high ground. Like, I think we should have a coach. I think that's something we did not utilize very well the last couple times we played that could help us. Talking about the outline for Talentless Gaming and the fucking Enforcers group. That's
we gotta
great.
go.
Yeah, this is
Dude,
walk away. That's all right.
I think I hear what you're saying about the coach thing. I think we just need, and I mean, I'll say this to both of them. I think that could be tougher for people. Oh, word. Like, that is, and little Wendy's. Let's go. Is that a strawberry lemonade?
No,
Just
it's
totally-
mango pineapple.
Oh,
My ring light's got
hell yeah. But I was gonna say it's neither of their main games, and I think again I'm open to it, but I think if we're gonna have somebody that's like a third party coach, they need to really know Apex. They need to know the way you rotate on certain rings. They need to know, like, hey, that was a smart fighter. That was, you know, and I don't mean that as disrespect to either Slavo or Spartan, but I just think they
I know that
played
shit.
games.
Well, no, that would be part of their homework. Would be to look up map rotations because it's online. You can look online and see
It
if
is-
a map
dude,
spawns.
You're just asking for a big time commitment out of somebody for that.
Yeah,
That's a
but
big
that's
role.
that's what a coach. That's what I want to do. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, I want to do that role. I don't feel comfortable with people we have on the roster right now that I don't need to be playing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's two other guys that can play with you that is a better option than me and you and another guy playing right now.
Yeah.
I agree.
mean,
I really
think we just got Dean in, who I think is very solid.
I think Dean is a great third. I think if we could get another guy and we could build chemistry, I think I could take that role as coach and I could do the legwork of map rotations. Obviously, I can have it pulled up on my other screen. I can see where the map's pulling, where it's going, and I can be subjective and do that. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we have enough
agree.
comp players to be there.
I agree.
I think their roles is what they do. It'll kind of fall into it, and I don't think it would take a lot for them to learn map rotations, watch our gunfights, be able to watch. If multiple of us should be streaming,
Yeah.
that way they at least have 2 points of view, so they can see what's going on from at least 2 points of view, so they can see it, analyze it. We have enough time in between rounds where they should be able to watch playback or rewind it and look at and see where we should go. We definitely have to start doing a dedicated IGL. We have to set up somebody who calls the fucking plays out and they go forward.
I agree.
If we go forward playing, I think I'm going to take the support role. I think I'm going to take the IGL role and I'm going to play a support role. I'm going to play Newcastle or Life, whoever the meta is, and I'm going to hang back instead of being aggro. And then we can have. I think you're a great aggro player. I think you're all around a great player. I think when you play your aggro characters though, it's way more beneficial for us.
Okay.
And
Thanks,
then
man.
I think with Dean,
On stream.
well, I think when I play aggro character, I'm either going to get a kill or I'm going to die. I
Right.
think when you play aggro character, you're either going to get a kill or you're going to be able to back out and reset. I don't
Yeah.
back out and reset. I know that about
You
myself. I'm not
don't, dude.
I'm
You
not backing
don't.
out. If
You
I take
really
a bad fight, I took a
God
bad
damn.
fight. There's no coming back. I'm
Dude,
pot
just-
committed. I'm all in. It's
The
either
amount
gonna.
of
I'm gonna.
times, the amount of times
Look at
where
his
I've gone,
family. He has no pull-out game.
he has no pullout game, bro. Like
I don't got it.
The amount of times, not even in ALGS, just like random ranked games where I've just seen like, oh, under's going in. Oh, he's in there deep. Oh no, like it's cooked. But no, I mean, yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it. And under, I think honestly the best place for us to start with that is, yeah, we can obviously have a conversation with Dean. It seems like he plays, but he's not like as into it or as active as, and that might change over time. But I think the other thing we do is probably, because we're almost done with this split, so we should have a new season, or do we have one more split?
No, this is the second split, I believe.
So we should be end of season.
Yeah, should be end of season.
You know what we need to do? I think the best way for us to, if we're gonna try to continue getting good players in, and shit, I'll be the first to admit, dude, if we have a better, like if there are people that are better than me on the team and we're trying to be serious about it, I'll be a coach with you, or I'll be the fucking jockstrap. I don't care. Like I will happily sit on the bench. But I think what me and you can do under is we be very serious and dedicated, whatever it is, 2 nights a week, 3 nights a week for 2 hours, we grind ranked, and we have to get to at least mid diamond, if not masters, so that we're at least playing with kids that, a lot of them are going to be toxic and suck. That's just the way those high games go. but at least we'll be around kids that would want to compete and have the skill level to do so.
Yeah, I think recruiting is going to be huge. I think we need another guy or two to bring in. The one thing that I want to push Kev into more Gears or into more Apex next season. I think Kev is I said Gears. I think Kev is very good at gunfights. I played a lot of duty with him. I think he is very good at his aim and his positioning. I think he could be a really good Apex player if he spent time playing Apex.
Sure.
So, like I was telling him and whoever we talked to that wanted to play ranked when we were playing, or Batty, I think we were talking to Diddley. What I would like to do is maybe if we can get them in when me and you can play with them, and we can branch them out and me and you can play and run them through some ranked, or if Spartan and Slava want to play, if we can get and split ourselves up and get those two in and integrated and get them up to speed, I think both of them could be really good, really strong players if they learn. They have the gun battles, they have the aim, they have all that. What they need to learn is what players they should be playing, the maps that they're using, the weapons of the game. I think they could be solid players for us. I would really like to get them involved and at least get them involved, see where they're at. If they're not up to par and it's just not a game for them, then we scratch it and we keep going. But
right.
The only thing I bring to the table for Apex is I'm very good bait.
Well, you are good bait, but you're a sound player. You don't leave your teammates.
I follow, and I'm also a lot better at being a rat than
you take orders well. I think it might be in your profession. I don't know.
Dude, Spartan, the thing that you do is that I've noticed, and I saw this, it was like a fucking TikTok clip or something, but it was from Jen Burton, who's like arguably the best, right? Like 3 ALGS world championships with Dark Zero. Like the guy's a beast. And he was like, the number one tip that he could give people trying to climb ranked and be better at Apex was, he said, don't get downed. He was like, if you can make not getting down to priority and get good at not getting downed, he's like, you don't have to get a bunch of kills. He was like, just do some damage and don't get fucking down. Your game is going to improve so much. And he's right.
Yeah, I think you would star in a support role. I think you would star as one of the support characters because you're going to be more of the back line, close to the team, not pushing anything. I think that's where you would shine a little bit more if you're playing one of those more support characters.
Dude, I mean, maybe under shit, like we look to find a support, and you could be more like the
mid frag,
mid frag, like control legend almost, even because you do have good gunfight skills. I think the game sense could improve a little bit. I mean, obviously all of our game senses could improve, not, regular masters players, but like, I think you have good gunfights, and I think you're solid from that kind of close to mid range. And yeah, but also sometimes support has to be like in there more, like Lifeline's best when she's right next to you and can tap you. Right. So
I think,
but we can figure it out.
Next split, I think that's what I'm going to concentrate on. I'm going to play Lifeline or Newcastle. We'll see what the meta is. I'm going to play Lifeline or Newcastle because both of those are support players that can be in the shit or they can be out of the shit. Like it can kind of be whatever. And I think you shine, like I said, I think you shine as frag, where we can put you on an aggro character where you can use your movement and your skills to push a fight. And then having a support that is going to have your back, where if you overextend, I'm going to be there enough to either get you or pull out enough to get you later.
Right. No, I think it's a good idea.
The one thing I want to do with Apex going forward next split is every ranked game we're playing, even if it's just the two of us and we're playing with randoms, we're playing it as if it's an AGLS match. We're not going for... Obviously, at a certain point, if we're climbing through fucking silver and into gold, obviously we can go and make sure we're getting our ranks. But once we start getting up there in these plat and diamond lobbies, we're playing it like an AGLS match. We're playing for position. We're taking the smart fights. We're rotating off. We're backing out of those 30-second fights that we're not winning. We're not getting third-partied. We're rotating the right way, and we're not fighting in fucking Storm for fucking 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It's a fight we're not going to win. Get out and let's reset.
Yeah,
Hey,
I agree.
one thing I've noticed about Skilled is your awareness of where people go is pretty good throughout fights.
Where they rotate to, and well, what I try to do is think of where I would rotate from the other team's perspective. Like if we're fighting in a fight and we're not winning it, and I know that team is holding us, and we're gonna rotate out, like sometimes it kind of sucks because you got to make that rotate that might be harder because if right is the easier way in, the team's probably going to go right to cut you off because they think you're going to go that way. So it's like a guessing game of predictive. I just try to put myself in the other team's shoes. Like if I've got them down or cracked, or if I know it's a 3v2, I'm not going to compromise my team to get that wipe, but I'm going to try to get it if I can. So making the easy rotate versus the hard rotate sometimes is tough. But the AGLS is such a different monster. I mean, I know we've only cut our teeth in it a handful of games, but really low to medium rank games really don't compare to what an AGLS is. Like
Dude,
the rotates and people being in the same building and not fighting, like that's not something you do in a rank match. If you're on top and someone's on bottom and you're in a rank match, you're thinking how to push them and how to take it. When you're in AGLS, you're thinking how to hold it. You're not thinking how to advance. You're thinking how to hold your position. And that's the one thing I think we need to work on.
I haven't even seen that in the high elo. What are you doing?
Oh, Diddley said there's so many good looking dudes on the screen, so I was.
It's crazy, Diddley. It's fucking GQ men's interview over here. The thing that I've noticed, even when I've been, I mean, I would say like over the seasons I've played, I probably am averaging like high plat, but I've been diamond and I've been in some master seasons, and the ones that I've noticed, even then, dude, like even in those highest elos that I've played in, you don't get that ALGS experience even in those games, dude, because like those guys are like, if they're 3 stacked, they're nastier than everybody else in the lobby, so they're just aggro as shit. And then if they're random queues, they're just like trying to play for 1 knock. So like you still don't even get that bunker down experience. So I think too, another thing we should look into is if we can, we're not going to be in there with like the TSM scrims, but if we could try to find some like ALGS scrims, like a website or something where kids will actually be playing that way, I think that would be really good experience for us, because we'll be like, all right, we know that we can shift the way that we're playing, and it's going to be matched that way, because it's very hard to practice against kids that aren't playing the way that they would in ALGS. So I think that's something else. And then the other piece that I would say is like I know you've been thinking about the support thing a lot, but I also think too, to like Spartan's point of, where people are rotating to, making call outs and just like having that good game sense is like, and that map awareness is the idea of a controller, dude. Like that's their whole job. And I think you run a mean caustic, I know you haven't played Cat. You play a good Cat. You haven't played her as much, but I think like those are both very solid. You never play Rampart. She's kind of what, but I think those are 2 very solid options that we shouldn't over either, because dude, I still to this day think that's one of the easiest ways to climb if you're in a 3 stack is to get the early scans, rotate early, lock buildings down, and then try to get a pick or 2 or a team wipe. Even if not, you're still getting top 5 stacks building, and that adds up.
That adds up a lot in AGLS, and I think that's going to be huge going forward. And it's what I tried looking into scrims last season. That's one thing I think is going to be huge for us going forward. If we do the next Challenger circuit, I think August is the last one for this session, and then the new one starts in December or something after the championship. That's going to be a definite. If we're going to move forward and do AGLS, we're going to have to do scrims. We're going to have to get invited to those private matches. Yeah, we're like you said, we're not going to be up there with the top dogs. Most of the top dogs are already going to be locked in. Obviously, some of the top dogs are still going to be in there. Like the last AGLS I think we played in, that we placed and had the second round that we couldn't play in because we had to work. And I think Slavo played by himself. Those guys are still pros. Like you're still playing pros in those challenger circuits. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're still playing pros. Like a handful of them are still pros that are on the outside looking in because they didn't win a qualifier. So we're still gonna have to do that, and I'm gonna do better at networking and getting those guys' info and getting us into those scrims because those scrims are gonna be key. Because yeah, sometimes you play those scrims and there might be like an agreed upon in the lobby where you're just going for kills or whatever. But there's gonna be those scrims where everybody's gonna say, all right, let's lock in, let's do this as if it's an AGL. So it's going to be good to get that experience of where to rotate, when to push, when to back out, where you should go, what ground to take, where the map's moving. So that's going to be a lot. And then playing the maps that are actually in that. Like when we're loading up into some of these rank matches and, we're kind of just whimming it on where we're going because we're lower level. When we start getting into AGLS, there should be no winging it. We should have, A and B. We should have two choices of where we're going to go, where we feel comfortable in landing. And if we're contested, we feel comfortable we're going to win a fight there. We should have set places of where we're going to go. We shouldn't be dropping in an AGLS tournament and going, all right, where do you want to go this time? That shouldn't be a thing. We should know we're going to go here or we're going to go here. And if we go to drop one place and there's 3 teams there, we need to know where's our peel off. Like, spot A should have B and C. Like we pulled off to go to A. There's 3 teams here. All right, where's the subpar place we can land that might not have a lot of loot, but it's not going to be contested. But we should have a set, almost a itinerary.
Yeah,
almost an index that says A, B, and C. If we go to land A and it's contested, we go to B or we go to C, and we should only have 2 of those that we're going to land to. And we need to have one of those for every map that's in the AGLS because we shouldn't be flying by the seat of our pants.
It also comes down to just like all these things we're talking about, man. Like it comes down to, and I'll preface this by saying, I think this is the most active I've ever seen the Discord in the 2.5 years I've been in it, and which has been awesome to see, right? Like I think everybody obviously has full-time jobs and families and like commitments, but I think we're hitting a really nice stride where people are streaming a lot, we're getting some growth, like people are joining, the community's tight, we all know each other pretty well at this point. But it's gonna come down to like, dude, all these things we talk about is fucking time and setting aside practice time and setting aside study time and set aside stream time or whatever each person's goals are. And I'm just thinking particularly in the ALGS sense is like, yeah, to the other point of like, we can't be rolling into ALGS not having run some threes at the very minimum, a couple hours the night before, getting the synergy and the team chemistry down.
Yeah, we can't be rolling into an AGLS with 5 people on the roster to see which 5 show up either. That's the one thing we've done in the past where it's been a handful of us that all sign up and then we just play it by ear. Like it's something we need to look at the dates, we need to map it out, we need to know who's available for sure. Obviously, we need to have a backup because life happens, shit happens. Somebody's power goes out, whatever. We need that sub on standby too. We need to have at least a solid 4 that's ready to go. If we would have had a solid 4 that one time we made it in day 2, who knows? Who knows if we would have had a solid backup that was there waiting and chomping, and Slabo was like, I can stay. One of us could have said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take." I could have took off work. I was working at a bar at the time. I could have said, "Fuck it." If we had a third, I could stay. So we need to know going into it who's gonna play, who's our starters, who's our backups. You have to be available on this date. You have to clear your calendar because we know way far in advance. Once you sign up and get okayed for it, we know way far in advance when it's going to be. We need to be honest with each other and know, yes, I've got 12 hours that day. I can do it. And we need to have somebody in the background that's either watching the stream or is in the Discord muted that's ready to go if somebody lags out, somebody's internet crashes, somebody's power goes out. We need to have that guy that's also ran enough of games with us that we have enough of a chemistry that they can just plug and play. That's what we need to do going forward. And I don't think we're that far off. Like I think Do I think we're as good as some of the teams that win the AGLS? No, I don't. I don't think we are. I don't think we're there yet. Do I think we're good enough to compete in one of the days before the big tournament? I do. I think we got good enough gun skills, a couple of us, to at least compete on one of those days. I think we need a lot of work done. We need a lot of polishing. We need a lot of awareness of backing out of fights when we shouldn't. I don't think we're anywhere ready to take on a championship circuit, but I think we're good enough to compete on the challenger circuit. I do. If we get another player, like if we get another solid player, I think our skills are good enough to compete on a challenger circuit. Pre-qualifier, no. Pre-qualifier is going to be all the teams that didn't get into the pro tournament. Those guys are going to be high level. Challenger circuit, a handful of those guys are going to be the guys who didn't make the pre-qualifier. The majority of them are going to be guys like us. How many guys do we see playing on console and challenger circuit? Not to shade towards console guys, but a lot of console guys aren't going to be up there on championship day. Okay. Well, that's 2 shots. A lot of those guys aren't going to be guys that are there. I think we get a third solid guy. Diddley, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Kev. We get another guy who's committed to playing Apex with me and Pickles or Spartanus. Ideally, I'd like to have 2 full teams ready to go for Challenger Circuit. That's ideally. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we have enough solid players enough to get there yet. Once I get back on PC, I'll be on the grind more. Heard. But we need to get in that mindset, and we need to have practices. We need to go through the motions of having, ranked higher level ranked games should be practices. We should be running them as if they're AGLS. That's what we should be doing going forward.
I will need before that time comes, whenever we do the tournaments, I need a date so then at least a month and a half in advance, so I can get that scheduled.
So I'll look after we're done today. Tomorrow I'll look. Whenever they release the Challenger circuit, even the preseason qualifier, whenever they release it, all of the dates for sign up are released. The actual dates of comp aren't, but you can kind of gauge when the comp's going to be. The comp is normally the week after the maximum date to sign up is. It's normally the very next weekend after that. So once we get off tonight, I'll look at it, or I'll look at it first thing in the morning, and I'll post whenever the next Challenger circuit is for 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll post what the sign up windows are, and it's like, the 12th through the 15th is when you have to be signed up. Normally the follow weekend is when the games are, but I'll post that, and we'll know ahead of time. We'll get a chat going. We'll see who can play it, who can sign up for it, and what we can do. The other game I want to start getting into is Valorant. Valorant has a good competitive tournament. It has good payouts. I think I can bring Ty Call on. I think Ty Call will be the fucking anchor for the team. He's really good at Valorant.
I could probably bring my buddy in that we played with the other day.
Yeah, whoever we can bring in, whoever we can recruit that gets in here, as long as they have talent lists as their mindset and they want to help us grow this brand, and they're okay with taking. What I want to do is I want everybody who's playing gets to take a percentage. Okay, everybody who's competing in the tournament takes a percentage. If it's Valorant, which is what is Valorant? 5 players.
Yeah,
it gets divvied up as 6.
Look at him doing that. Look at him doing that.
Yeah.
If
it's
not to try to tell us the percentages.
I'm not telling you the percentage. Just listen. if it's Valorant and we're playing Valorant, 20%. It gets split up as 6. 5 of them go to whoever's playing, because you should win money for fucking playing. The last one goes to talent list for buy-ins in tournaments, marketing to get our name out there, whatever. But everybody should make money. If we're playing Apex, it's 3 players with a 4th that's talentless. The 4th one is talentless. Talentless gets the money. Spartan's going to be in charge of it, and you Slabo and Spartan, you guys are going to decide. You guys are going to decide where that money goes. If it goes into Pickles getting a new PC, it goes to Pickles getting a new PC. If it goes into Diddley needs a new controller, it goes into Diddley. It's the same thing we've done with the slush fund. All my money from my Twitch goes back into whatever the fuck we need going forward. That's how it should be. If people want to join Talentless and they want to get a fucking jersey like Slabo's wearing, and they want to play under our name, a small percentage goes to Talentless to pay for whatever the fuck we need going forward. But whatever 25 or 30% or whatever goes to you, that's yours. Whatever you make for you playing in that tournament, that's your money. I don't want any part
Strippers
of it.
and
Doesn't go to
shots,
me.
baby. Strippers and shots.
That's how we should do it going forward. What do you want? Go.
I've two
that
things to add to this. One being around the. I think I just lost one of them. So I think one of the things around like the talentless piece is the, like, and I guess this goes to like a question to you, Under, and I guess Slavo and Spartan as enforcers kind of helping oversee pieces of it. But like, do you have talentless as an LLC? Like,
I do.
Have some of those. Okay, right. So like,
I do.
that's good. That's good, right?
Yeah.
So we can. That's very good to almost kind of like say, hey, we're legit. We business. We can set up. We can have some processes here. I'm happy.
We can set up a payroll
kind of
when it gets there.
Yeah, and I'm happy to kind of help set up some of that stuff too, as well. In terms of like budgets and all that kind of stuff. But the other piece I was going to say was around, you're talking about the ALGS and these Valorant tournaments and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll be honest, like I think, like to compete at the highest level of these games, like the amount of hours that you have to put in is fucking absurd. And while I do love the idea of us eventually being there and like having, 5 15-year-old Asians that are just absolutely unreal at Valorant on our, okay, sorry, I got a little, like, I love the idea of that. And then playing in right, I think the Valorant World Champs just started fucking Shanghai or where, like, that would be so cool. But I think we, from like a business approach standpoint and in terms of, like, I'm thinking about myself in terms of like the streaming, and I'd love to have a job making money as through Twitch and all that kind of stuff. Is like, we need to be looking to the ranked tournaments, or excuse me, the paid tournaments that you can just enter off of some of those websites, right? Like, I think, yeah, the ultimate goal might be to sending a team to LAN. Yeah, I see the hand. Give me 1 sec. That's hilarious. So you just raised your fucking hand. Like, I love the idea of that, but in the meantime, like, there's a lot of money to be made in the Z League or whatever it's called, daily tournament and stuff, right? Like, so I think we should be focusing on that a lot too.
So going off of that, what we did in the past, we did a lot of Z League early on. We did a lot of Z League tournaments, and we made a lot of money. Not a lot. I will say
It was probably around $600 total.
it was more than that. Passively, it was way more than 600. We probably made, and this is no exaggeration, there's probably about $10,000 made during Z League through Call of Duty, Apex, and Fortnite early on. None of that came back to Talentless besides what I made while I was playing. I have no problem in the lower ranked tournaments when we're playing Z League and we're playing, I think there's one that's called GG that has tournaments too that you can do. I have no problem in whatever we do in that. When you buy in yourself, because there's a lot of them that is the person buys in, I have no problem with whatever you buy in, whatever you win, that's all yours. That's 100%, that's fine. What we had when we started doing Z League and stuff is Talentless was buying a lot of people into tournaments, and Talentless was fronting the bill, and then everybody was winning their money, and then no paying out. So whatever I won is whatever was going back into Talentless. I think broad spectrum, if we're going to play Z League, we're going to play GG, we're going to play a lot of these underling tournaments, which we should do, especially for Call of Duty. I think there's some for Apex. I think there's some for Fortnite. Whatever we're going to do to kind of promote Talentless, I'm okay with every tournament that's not a sanctioned big league tournament. If you put Talentless as your tag and get in there, All you have to do is let us use you for marketing. If you go into a 1v1 Call of Duty tournament and you say it's Talentless Gaming just gets the right to market it, the videos, or call you out or whatever. You can win that money on your own. What I don't want to get into is we get into a $500 tournament and Talentless Gaming fronts the $500, and then we win the tournament and nobody wants to pay the company back. That's what I don't want to do. Going forward, like that's why I was saying we should have a split. If we get into a Call of Duty tournament where it's 4 players, we'll play a Call of Duty tournament. The 4 players playing, if I'm one of them, I'll put all mine in Talentless. I don't care. The 4 players playing, a certain percentage you win, a certain percentage Talentless gets. Only because the slush fund is supposed to be used for players who are playing that need gear, upgrade computer, new controller, God forbid, time off of work. If you're gonna say we're gonna play in the AGLS and you gotta fucking skip work on Monday, Talentless should pay you for skipping work on Monday. So we're gonna cover whatever. Fuck you, Spartan. You don't count. Talentless should pay you for missing work. That's what we should do. But you still have your right to earn your own money. You're still playing the game yourself. You're still technically a subcontractor of Talentless Gaming. Like every person who plays for Talentless is technically a 1099 for Talentless.
I was gonna say, dude, we should have people 1090.
Yeah. So every person who plays technically is going to be a 1099 for Talentless Gaming. If we play a tournament and we win $1 million, you played, but Talentless still pays you for your time because you're your own entity. But if Talentless got you into that tournament, like if we played in a tournament where we had to spend $100, Talentless technically paid for you to get into it. You have to pay them back. But the rest of it is all you. We're not here to take money out of people's pockets. We're here to make money for everybody. But we need to have enough money laid back that we can do marketing to get our name out there. We can buy into the tournaments going forward.
You could pay a media guy.
We can pay a media guy to make clips and go forward with that. I don't think that really hasn't been an issue in the last couple times we've done Z League and stuff. And like I said, when I stream, all my stream goes right back into Talentless. What I don't want is all of you guys' stream doesn't need to go into Talentless. All you guys are subsidiaries of Talentless. Whatever you make while we're playing Apex, whatever you make while we're playing a scary game, whatever you guys make, wherever we're doing whatever, that's for you guys. The only thing Talentless is going to want a portion of is when we're playing tournaments and when we're winning. I'm not going to ask you guys to go through your Twitch at the end of the month and say, hey, what'd you make on your Twitch? All right, well, Talentless. No, that's not how it works. That's not what we're here for. That's not how you grow a brand. That's not how you grow a team. That's not what we're going to do. Talentless is still going to support you. We're still going to share you on the social medias, which I'd really like Slabo's guy to take over our social media accounts at some point. All of that is for you to build your brand, because the bigger your brand gets, the bigger our brand gets. The more viewers you bring in, the more viewers see our team. So I'm not trying to handicap anybody. The only time Talentless is going to get a cut is if Talentless is playing in either a tournament that Talentless is paying for, or playing in some sort of tournament where we're using Talentless's name. On top of that, if you want to play in an Apex solos, like a kill race, because some of those, what the fuck was it called? Z League. Z League used to have solo tournaments where you could play an Apex rank match of 3v3, but it was a kill race. If you play in that tournament and you win money, that's all you. Talentless doesn't get that money. There was nobody else in that tournament but you. That's all you. I don't want this to get bogged down of what Talentless should get and what they shouldn't. The only money Talentless is going to get is if we're playing big name tournaments that Talentless paid money to get us into, or that Talentless employees like Spartan, Slabo, you, us spent time and equity into to get into the tournament. Like you said, if we're going to ask people to spend 40 hours a week playing Apex to get in a tournament, and we play that tournament, say we don't win, Talentless should still probably offer something to those guys if they dedicated so many hours to playing that game. Like at some point, as long as the money's coming in, at some point we should pay them for their time. Might not be probably what it's worth if we didn't win the tournament, obviously. But if you fucking cleared your schedule because, Saturday you were supposed to work, but 2 weeks you took it off to play in this tournament, Talentless needs to make it right by you, or you're not going to play for Talentless, right? Yeah. So that's the only thing the slush fund's there for.
I was thinking we should take the time to write all these things out, because that's how we could get in trouble, and it could get some people really pissed off. Is like, I think you're saying all the right things, but let's say we go and enter a $1,500 Apex tournament, and there's a $150 buy-in, and you as Talentless cover that buy-in, and Talentless is going to get 25% of that beast, and we win the thing and win $1,500. Like, if it's not written out somewhere, and one of the players is like, well, what the hell, I only got $350, what's going on? Like, where's my other money? I just think we could save ourselves a lot of hard pain in the ass later down the road if we take the time to make the slush fund
I don't know.
maybe not public information, but at least public to Jersey members, guys that are serious about being in these tournaments, the ones that are competing for money, like just being straight up about where we're at with the finances. These are the rules. This is what you win. This is what goes to Talentless. If you foot the bill yourself, it's all you. Like, I think it would be good if we just sat down and that shit out.
So that
learn more.
That will all
doc contract or something.
Yeah, so me and Spartan and Cyber will work on that. We'll work on getting a baseline laid out, and then we'll work on.
Sabo, you're really getting signed up for a lot of stuff here, my man.
Well, they're enforcers of the Discord for a reason. Hopefully they're gonna get paid at some point.
I just think it's funny because he's just sitting there not saying anything with as unders just listing off of.
So listen, Slabo and Spartan signed up for this a long time ago. Okay, they already know what they signed up for. Yeah, it might be a little bit more than what they signed up for, but they signed up for it a long time ago. So
fair enough.
What we'll do. Shut up, Spartan. No one's talking to you. What we'll do going forward.
Dude, he's one of the enforcers. Slabo, you have to.
Oh, Slabo didn't sign up, but he does more work than you. Does that mean he gets more than you?
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say. Yeah, go ahead. Spartan, what were you saying?
Oh, I kind of just brought Slabo on. I was like, hey, computer shit. Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, but Slabo knew. He kind of knew. Right, Slabo? He kind of knew.
Yeah.
I whispered earlier when he was like putting equity back into it, and I was just thinking to myself, like, how many thousands of dollars have I
Yeah, but no, so you guys aren't... Okay, you do that willingly because obviously you like my face, I guess. But there's no equity drawn in from you guys. There should be nobody should be putting equity into this to get a return, unless it's like a buy-in tournament. Like if we all agree that there's $1,000 tournament we play in and the buy-in's $25, that's different. Nobody should be putting money into this thinking I'm going to get money out of it. That's how people get upset. Right? Like,
you've also never communicated it as that. Like, you've never you've never been like, oh, I'm looking for investors to grow.
Right. I'm not trying to.
Shouldn't be an expectation.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying, like, long term, we're never going to ask people of our community, hey, we need $5 for this tournament. No, I'm going to front it. Like, either Talentless is going to front it. They don't have enough. I'm going to front it. That's what we're going to do. That's just how business works.
I'm gonna go grab
what I would like to see eventually, when we get to the point of this actually being a viable business where we're making money, you two are going to be the ones making the majority of the money, doing all the fucking legwork. You guys are keeping track of the fucking the Discord. You're keeping track of who's joining, who's leaving. You guys are keeping track of the tournaments with me. I mean, it's going to be you guys and me. It's going to be the people who are doing it. So you guys should be getting paid for your time. Mm-hmm. I wish right now I could pay you for your fucking time, because the things that you guys have done for this fucking community are insane. Especially not to Spartan spends enough money in the stream, so I'm not going to talk about him. So it's enough. But the amount of time, Slavo, that you do stuff for the Discord and adding forums and adding channels and doing the stuff that you do, I wish I could fucking pay you for it. If I was better off in my life, I would have no problem with fucking sending you money. It kills me every fucking day that you send me a message with something that you fucking upgrade. Like when you put the fucking movies on there, I felt like a huge piece of shit every time I watch the movie. Because you should be getting paid for that. You should be getting paid for the legwork that you're doing. So the meaning of having Talentless Gaming and having some sort of that payment come into Talentless is to pay you and Spartan and the things that you guys are doing. Like that's you're a fucking piece of shit, Spartan. You're not getting paid anymore.
That's 3. With pickles.
I hate you and everything that you stand for.
3 what? Sorry, I'm back. I didn't hear what you were referencing.
Oh no, he's got to do another shot.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, the podcast is going good and all, but I kind of want to play that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we'll cut it short. We'll cut it off here. So going back to what Pickle said, obviously the end goal of this is to be a corporation, right? That's the end goal. The end goal is enough to make Talentless Gaming a corporation. The end goal is enough to make Spartan and Slabo enough money to either pay for your services while you still have a full-time job or cover your expenses for not working and spending 8 hours of managing a Discord and signing up a team and figuring out tournaments and going forward. Like, that's obviously the end goal.
Yeah.
That's obviously the end goal. That's the reason a portion of the tournaments are going to be turned over. Like, I'm honestly, to cap it off, I think the only things we've ever done with the slush fund is we've bought into a bunch of tournaments through Z League. We've got a couple people controllers and we've got a couple people mics. The end goal is to have enough in that slush fund that Spartan has the Talentless PayPal signed up to where Pickles fucking broke his fucking headset today. His headset snapped in half. And we're going to have a tier system that ranks people in our Discord, people on our team, a priority. Okay? Pickles' headset broke, and I don't know. Kev's headset broke. Pickles obviously is going to be above Kev for headsets, right? Pickles plays more games for Talentless. He's way more active for Talentless. Pickles would submit a ticket, which I think Sabo already made a ticket for that, right? For Slush Fund. So we already have a ticket. Pickles would submit a ticket, broken headset. Pickles would do his best to find whatever headset he wants. He'll submit his ticket. Hey, $89.99. I can get the same headset I lost. Boom. He submits it. It goes into YouTube. You guys will look at it. You guys will do your research and say, hey, I found it cheaper on this website. It's $69.99. You'll order it out of the Talentless Gaming's account, and you'll have it shipped to Pickles' address. Pickles has a new headset. Boom. That's the way it should work. That's the way we want it to work. You and Slabo will have all access to. I just made a Cash App for Talentless, and we already have the PayPal that's set up. I'll get you guys the info for it. You guys will be signed into it to where you guys have all rights to Alkalade. I don't know how to say it. You guys will have all rights to send funds where you see fit. You guys will be the end all be all. You'll see it all. You'll see what comes in. You'll see what money's sitting in there, and you'll be able to decide who gets it priority wise, who actually needs it. If it's the fucking 98th ranked person in our fucking community who's not even a Jersey member, we're not gonna buy him a new headset. I'm sorry, but you're not getting shit. If you're not bringing anything to the table, you're not getting fucking shit. I'm not paying for your graphics card. If we start making money at this and we start moving forward, and the little bit of streaming that I do and the little bit of tournament money we start getting in starts racking up, and we can afford, like right now, Pickles is getting ready to buy a PC. There's nothing more than I would love is that Talentless Gaming could say, hey, you're buying a new PC? Guess what? We got you. And we can buy him that new PC. Because technically, I can write it off at the end of the year.
That would have been sick.
Right. I could write that off at the end of the year.
Dope.
As an expense for doing business, right? The main part of doing the business is being able to write shit off at the end of the year. There is no reason that going forward, especially once we really get this strain rolling, that I can't pay you and Slabo. I'm not gonna. I don't think we're anywhere close within the next 2 years of being able to pay you to stay home. But we should be able to pay you guys enough to supplement your money that you guys make, that it's worth your fucking time. Like, I know right now it's not worth your time. I know you guys are doing it because you guys are good guys, and maybe you think I have a pretty face, or you guys really think it might be going right.
Nobody thinks that. Literally nobody thinks that except Kiki.
Like, well, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's really all that matters.
It's all that matters.
I would like nothing more than us to be able to pay Spartan and Slabo $60K a year to sit at home and run a fucking Discord and reach out to people and recruit people and fucking get people in here to be a part of this team. That's what I would love. We're not there right now. We're not even there to pay you $10K a year. I'd love to pay you that for the fucking time you spent. I know how much time you guys spent. More Slabo, Spartan, you just fucking get bits and subs, so we're not talking about your time. You spend money, Slabo spends time. You spend
Most
money,
of the
Slabo
time-
spends time.
Labo is doing stuff. I am still there bouncing ideas off of him that
Well,
I don't implement.
You're
And
probably
he
sleeping.
does.
You're probably sleeping.
No.
The one I feel worse about is Slabo.
Real quick. I'm gonna bounce just because I'm still downloading this game and this stream is really breaking my PC's heart for trying to download and run a stream. So I'll bounce real quick and hopefully I'll be down by the time you guys finish up.
Okay. We should.
But I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all in like. Yeah, I'll see you on like 10:15.
See you later,
Yeah.
turd.
Also, what game is it?
Kiss my
Dark-
butt.
Dark
Dork.
Ashes. Are you gonna download it?
The Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes.
It's 5-player.
Are we
If you
doing
don't
House
play it,
of
you're a
Ashes
loser.
or are we doing the Min one?
You're running this show. It's up to you,
We
Slavo.
fucking better be doing House of Ashes. That's what I just bought.
I mean,
Because
I
Sugar
looked into
Daddy
it.
Slabo didn't fund me.
I looked into it, so all the episodes for that game doesn't matter what order you played in, just as long as the
Yeah.
first and second episode, because each one lines up with pictures inside of the game that leads to the next episode. Basically,
God,
they're all
I
their
did
different
look
stories.
it up. I did look it up. It says this one outside of the original is the most popular. So
yeah,
I
that's
think we
why I
gotta
chose
go.
that one. Yeah.
Hell yeah! All right. Well, I'll see y'all in the chat in 15. Good.
All right, we'll see.
Good talking.
Better be friend pass.
Frickin'
I swear to
patties.
God.
We'll see.
I got friend. I'm literally looking at it.
Okay, good.
All right, so
right.
But speaking to that effect, the two guys I want to be taken care of, especially while we're getting started up, is you guys. So the percentage of stuff that comes into Talentless should go to you guys. It should go to you guys. You guys are the ones doing the brick and mortar stuff. You guys are the one bringing people in. You guys are the one making the forums, making the chats, making sure people are integrated in the systems that we got. I want to start paying you guys as soon as it's profitable to start paying you guys.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want to happen. And then once we're over profitable to pay you two for your time and your money spent, Spartan, for you, it's literally going to be the money you give me is going to go back to you. It's pretty much how it's going to probably work. And then what we're going to do is pay Slavo for his time to spend. I know you guys have spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, especially you, Slavo, of doing things for this channel that you're not getting anything back for. And it really upsets me that I can't do that for you. I'm not in a good enough job now that I can front the money or pay you for it. But what I really want to do is if Talentless starts taking off, you two will be the first ones that's taken care of. You guys will have access to the slush fund, and you guys will decide who gets paid out and when. All of my stream earnings and shit are going to go towards the slush fund. They always have, they always will. Whatever gets paid goes in, and you guys do with it what you see fit. Now, it's going to be tough decisions for you two. You guys are going to have to decide priority-wise who's worth what's going to go on. I'm never gonna need a new headset and say, hey, I need some of the Talentless slush fund to give me a new headset. No, that's going to be on me. What's going to happen is you two are going to have to decide who's actually playing and putting time in and who deserves to get something out of it. But first and foremost, you guys are probably going to be like me and you shouldn't. You guys need to be taken care of. You guys need to be paid for your time spent. Once again, Spartan doesn't count because he doesn't do anything but watch and pay money. Slavo's the one doing all the groundwork.
Yeah, but, well,
I haven't been talking to Diddley this whole time or nothing, but whatever.
Spartan.
Yeah,
needs
whatever.
to-
We're not talking.
Spartan needs to get his PC set up. That's the only time that he'll actually.
Oh my
spend
God.
time.
Dude, that's been like
This motherfucker.
7 years. What are you still living in
know,
your cousin's basement? Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? If you don't want your PC, you can send it to me. I could do so much.
He's
Okay.
living under.
I'll
the
send
steps
you
of Harry
mine.
Potter, bro.
I'll send you mine, and you can just send me yours, and I'll have great streams, dude. If you just want to do that, I don't want his feet pics.
Do the friends pass?
Yeah.
So going forward, I would like
If
once
you
we
buy the game,
start.
it gives you both. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, but what, I was asking which one I needed to download.
Friends pass.
Once we start making money, the first two people are going to be paid are going to be you two.
Actually, our media gang.
Well, yeah, so that would be third. I will be last. I'm going to be paid last. I don't want anything for doing what I'm doing. I want to build this fucking brand into something that's fucking special. I don't care if we start making fucking money roll in. that I don't even get paid for it. I want to be able to have you guys run the Discord and get paid. I want to have our media guy start creating fucking hot videos and promos and shit that we can cut and put on social media. And then I want to pay our top. Can you stop for a second? I want to pay our top guys who are performing. Pickles, Kev, Fusion, whatever it is. I want to pay our top guys who are performing some sort of stipend to keep them on our list, because worst case scenario, say we go through the AGLS, we start playing, Pickles goes off, right? Pickles has a huge game in the AGLS. He drops 12 kills. Me and his teammate drops 1. Those top guys are going to look at him and try to poach him, right? They're going to try to poach him. I want to be able to have enough money, which we probably won't, but I want to have enough money that we can still say, hey, we're the small guy. We got you to where you are. Hey, we can throw this to you. Like, that's what I want. I don't want to make anything off of this. I want Tal3nT to make enough money to pay you guys and pay the players that are playing for us. That's what I want. That's all I want.
We just need to win
I want
the
to.
lottery.
Well, if I won the lottery, we'll have a fucking 20-room house that you guys can all move into and stream from.
Yeah, I'd quit
And
my
we'll just-
job.
And then I'll just come in and be a dickhead and slap you with whipped cream or some shit to make a fucking viral video. So
It's a little harder for you to quit your job than it is for me to quit my job.
well, your job
True,
is
but
life because
if I say-
you're in the service. So
Say he gives me $1 million, I can be like, I have $1 million, so I don't even want to work anymore. They'll be like, oh, okay.
boom, bombshell,
They'll kick you
eat it.
out. Yeah.
Go
They'll kick you out.
go
if
hang
you don't
another deer head on your wall, bitch. Yeah.
So
Oh, he already has one. Never mind. Good job.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna go pee, and then we'll switch over to this horror game. I'll be right back.
I'll be there in a little bit because I'm gonna eat and also let this game actually download.
all right.
I just bought it. Okay.
Whatever,
Leave me
dude.
alone.
All right, see you in a few.